You have the cell, and the nucleus of the cell contains the chromosomes, and the chromosomes are made of long strands of DNA. The DNA is made of genes. That's the way we're taught to think about the cell. From an IT perspective, if you're studying information technology and computer science, there's a different way to look at our cells. What if every cell is a library of information? We have, the average person, about 50 trillion cells in the human body. What if every one of those 50 trillion cells, what if it's a library? And what do you find in the library? Well, books. What if the chromosomes are the books that store the information, and the chromosomes are made of long strands of DNA? What are books made of? They're made of chapters and paragraphs. What if those chromosomes are the chapters in the books? What if the genes are the words and the phrases and the sentences and the paragraphs? And that is precisely what's happening in our genome. 2007, Japanese scientists published a study in peer-reviewed journals. What the researchers did was they took information and they stored it into the DNA of bacteria. The first message that was encoded was a very brief message. It was E equals mc squared, and then the year that Einstein published his paper on relativity, 1905. So this is the message that was encoded into the bacteria originally, allowed to run for approximately 60 generations, pulled out, the message was preserved, number one. Number two, it was completely intact. And this proved to the scientific community that we can, in fact, store information in DNA. So when you type the letter A on your keyboard, for example, that letter A actually is a representation. It's shorthand for the binary code in the computer that A represents, and that binary code is part of a system that is standardized and universal across all computer platforms. And then you take that binary code and you link that binary code to the code of DNA itself. So there are mathematic representations of the DNA sequences that can be recorded in binary numbers, and this is what they're doing. And now you can arrange that code within the sequence, within the strands of DNA itself, and that is precisely what they've done. They've inserted these genetic letters into the genome of the bacteria. And that is how the information is stored. It is more efficient even than a hard drive of your computer. DNA is 1,000-fold denser for storage than flash memory, and it consumes zero energy to maintain that information. You can write the DNA and then you can store it forever. The entire Library of Congress of the United States is now stored in DNA, and that DNA takes up very, very little space. It is estimated that all of the information that has ever been created in the world since humans began creating information could be stored so efficiently in DNA that it would fill the space, the bed of 2 pickup trucks.